Welcome. I'm Janet Connor, prayer artist and mystic witch, and I think I am about to share with you week 19 of my newsletter. But Hilda Moore is reminding me that she will be reading, introducing, sharing. See her laughing? She is just the cutest thing in the world. When I sit down to write these newsletters, that's her little spot behind me on the altar. I'm constantly turning and I look her in the eyes and say, that doesn't sound so good, does it? So it's my name on the website. It's my name on the top of the newsletter. It's my name on the email when you get it, and you can just click below to subscribe. It always comes out on Sunday. But Hildemore and I get around to recording it when we get around to recording it. So if you don't want to wait and you want it in your email on Sunday, you go to janetconnor.com. Do I have to change that to hildemoreofweird.com? She's laughing. So, Hildemore and I have the coolest present for you today. If you have been getting the notifications and listening to her read my newsletters, you know that once in a while we have a guest. Did you listen to Marcia Wade a couple weeks ago? Whoa, whoa, whoa. She blew our minds with what was really going on at the solar eclipse and why we're all just a little exhausted. So today, have we got a present, a guest for you? And without any introduction, we're just going to dive into sacred Hawaiian, Oli, prayer, chant to set the space, create the sacred vortex for the wisdom of the ancestors. That was the name of the newsletter. Week 19, in which we listen to the wisdom of the ancestors on how to restore ourselves in Pono. Let us begin on Oahu with Kahu Lahela in prayer.
Aloha mai kako. Thank you, Janet. And thank you, Hildemore. It's so wonderful to be a guest of yours on this beautiful Zoom platform. I offer to all of our beautiful audience out there, our visitors who are tuning in, this incredible Oli, this incredible prayer that is called Nohoana. And Nohoana means is the prayer to open up the pathway ahead, open up the channel ahead. It's as if we're standing and we want to make our way into the forest and we are calling out, may we have permission? Do we have safe passage? And we are then, once we ask, we are then granted. So this is a beautiful Oli to clear the pathway ahead. No ana ke akua I tana hele hele. Ia laia e ke ki ohu ohu e kaua kōkō. E nā kino malu I kalani malu e hoe. E ho'olu mai ana o laka I kona mau kahu. O mākou. O mākou, o mākou noa.
The path is open. And so let us begin. I have a little bit to share with you from this newsletter, but it's really Kahu Lahela's invitation. The newsletter begins. Friends, soul writers, mystics, witches, and lovers of prayer. This salutation is getting longer and longer and longer, and we clearly have to add lovers of Hana I Ka Pono and the ancient, pre-literate, oral, shamanic Hawaiian truths. I have been blessed. I have been so very blessed. I'd call it blessed beyond blessed to bring you, what do I bring you? Mystical prayer intensives 4 years of them. And every single one of them is simply not available anywhere else. They are unique because they are vibrations, living vibrations from pre-patriarchal and post-patriarchal. The pre-patriarchal past and the post-patriarchal future. We're living in this giant loop of grace and love and prayer, and it lands in our bodies. This is what real prayer does. It lands in our bodies and transforms our lives. Now, I'm giving away my age here when I quote that crazy, it was an ad, "This is not your father's Oldsmobile," wasn't that it? Well, my father did have an Oldsmobile. So this is not your father's Oldsmobile. Guess what? This is not your father's prayer. No matter what patriarchal tradition you were raised in, that's your father's prayers. Your father's, 5,000 years of father's prayers. Now, I pray very differently. And I love prayer. I love every prayer that's a part of my life. I love every prayer intensive I've ever offered in the last 4 years. But if you've been following me since Prayer Artist arrived, and it arrived in 2018, you know there's one prayer more than any other that, maybe this sounds like I shouldn't say it this way, it demands the spotlight. It demands the spotlight. It's always calling me. It's always calling you. It's a prayer I adore, and it's the prayer you ask for more than any other. Ho'oponopono. I am not talking about those popular 4 sentences. Once you know something about the real Ho'oponopono, the pre-literate oral tradition Ho'oponopono, you realize those 4 sentences are a little on the insipid side. I am talking about the real prayer, the ancient prayer, the pre-literate Hawaiian prayer, the prayer that I know from personal experience has limitless power to heal. If you've been blessed to be in any of the 6, there have been 6 previous Ho'oponopono intensives with Kahu Lahela and me, or experienced her praying Ho'oponopono in the Return of the Witch's pilgrimage last summer, you know how alive and vibrant and miraculously hearing this prayer is. This is the key word for me, alive. Prayer is alive. This is kind of the litmus test. If you're praying some of those prayers of your fathers and it doesn't feel alive to you, then it's a formula and it's some words and it might be something you learned to do as a kid or that you feel obligated to do, but it's not prayer. Prayer is alive. Prayer is ancient. Humans have been praying, I think, since the first moment we even evolved slightly into humans. And I am absolutely certain that every fish prays, every insect prays, every animal prays, every tree prays, every mountain prays. Prayer is alive. It is forever ancient. And at the moment that you pray, it's brand new. It's forever new. And you know who is, I think, the most sacred and responsive instrument of this kind of vibrant living prayer? Kahu Lahela. So rather than me try to articulate the profound healing that is awaiting you on Tuesday, May 17th, on the opening night of our brand new Hana I Ka Pono prayer intensive, I asked Kahu Lahela if she would like to speak directly to you. Now, in the newsletter, she sent this beautiful, gorgeous letter And there it is in the newsletter if you want to read it. But we've got the real thing. She's right here with us. So she, Kahu Lahela, is going to just speak directly to your heart and give you a taste, an insight into what she knows about the healing power of returning to Pono through the prayer practice that her ancestors asked her to create, Hana I Ka Pono. Aloha.
Beautiful, Janet. Thank you. This is such an important time, I feel, for all of us. I feel that we are all being called to take responsibility for ourselves, for the healing of ourselves. It starts here first. And as we know, as we've been doing this since 2018 together, are these Ho'oponopono intensives, which was, we were blessed to receive by my beautiful Kumu Karen, Lealoha Carol. And the practice that she presented this to us, this beautiful prayer, was to cleanse homes, cleanse space, cleanse, and to help also heal our bodies. As a kumu of Lomi Lomi, she understood energy, and she taught us how to not only work in the physical realm of healing the body, but also the emotional, mental, and spiritual layers that we have. And so this is all energy. This is energy that we cannot see with our eyes, but through Ho'oponopono, we can heal whatever and cut and release whatever attachments we have gathered along our path, along our journey since childhood and beyond into past lives and multi-generations, right? That these attachments get handed down to us year exactly. So we're cutting these aka cords of injustice. And we did this incredible work together, 6 intensives. And I got this nudge after the beautiful journey we went on together last year, the return of the 13 witches pilgrimage, which was 13 weeks long, and it was intense. It was the most profound experience for me. Through it, there was an opening that occurred for me, an opening where a seed was planted within me. And I felt that it was a kuleana, a responsibility I was being handed by my guides, by the ancestors, by the elders, to do something, to create this. So upon the closing of the pilgrimage, I worked closely together with my guides and the ancestors, and they were telling me to create something that would be similar to the Ho'oponopono prayer, Pule, that we were blessed with, but that something that would assist people in their healing. And so that from that moment was birthed Hana I Ka Pono. Hana I Ka Pono, meaning cultivating excellence for ourselves and others. So it starts here with us first. And once we do the work, the healing work on ourselves, because as without, so within, we take responsibility for this. I was guided by my guides, back in 20, oh gosh, when I was a photographer, I would say roughly around 2005-ish, around there, to take, I was a photographer, so instead of documenting the world on the outside, turn your gaze inward and start to document and to realize what's going on in here. So they said, you're going to put the camera aside, which I did eventually in 2010. And they said, where you use light to create an image in photography, you're now going to shine that light in here and into the darkest recesses of your being. And you're going to expose, they use a lot of photographic terminology. You're going to expose what's going on in here, because what's going on in here is what ends up being out here. And so that it's a process that we have not been in, we haven't been tapped into this area of our divinity, our true source of creation that's occurring within us. So through this process, working closely with them, Hana I Ka Pono was birthed, where it combines this lovely prayer, a slightly different version of the original prayer that we were blessed with. And it includes the beautiful essence of the spiritual essence of Lomi Lomi, which is the cleansing and the healing and the releasing of heaviness, of blockages, of attachments. It also includes the beautiful language of light technique that I have learned through the years, to also cut and remove and then fill up with light, fill up with the golden white light, the divine light of, because as we remove, we must fill back in. Exactly. And then also there's prayer. There is the beautiful waterfall of light practice that we do at the end of the healing, the energy healing work that we do on ourselves. So it's a wonderful process. It's very complete. And we start from our crown chakra and we end up at our feet, clearing all of these energy centers. Why do we do this? Because it's important for us to release these attachments, to release the stories that we've told ourselves, the stories of things that we've witnessed in our lives, in our families, throughout the multi-generations, and to release the pain and suffering. And not just this lifetime, but countless lifetimes before us. And as we do this work, it was amazing, Janet, because thank you to you. You hosted the inaugural launch of Hana I Ka Pono in October of last year, which was amazing. And we all felt this lightness. In fact, I get very tearful because there is so much, as we remove the heaviness, the pohaku, we call it, the rocks that dim our light. As we remove the pohaku, we fill up with light, and there is so much joy that it comes spilling out of my eyes. And I'm feeling it now as I'm just talking about it with you. And we all felt this much lighter, and there were so many tears of joy after that Hana I Ka Pono. 3 sessions, we met for 3 weeks. And this one is going to be different in the way that we're starting with the inner world. I like to call it our inner verse. And we're looking there to see where the pohakus are, where the heaviness lies. And we're releasing those, so that as we release, we can heal ourselves, we can remove this the pain and suffering that we've been harboring, especially now, Janet, with all of the changes that are taking place, the the things that we're watching that are occurring out there in the world today. um, just a lot of change, a lot of heaviness, a lot of injustice, a lot of continued pain and suffering on people, innocent lives everywhere. That if we can heal ourselves, our bodies is also the body of Mother Earth. Mother Earth is the body that is also within us. So as we can heal ourselves, we can radiate such mana, such spiritual power that will go out and heal our immediate environments, our homes, our families, our communities. And then we can spread that out. We can radiate that. It's like lighting your candle first, and then lighting several other people's candles, and then those people lighting many other candles, to the point where we are covering our beautiful, beautiful planet in prayer and in healing. Wherever the prayers need to go, wherever the healing needs to go, this is what we are going to do together.
Listening to you and remembering that inaugural intensive, I've been with you for 6 Ho'oponopono intensives. They've all been miraculous. And having had 6 of them, I know how my body reacts. I know that it is literally, forgiveness is physically cleansing. So I went into the Hana I Ka Pono thinking, oh, I know what this is. I know what this is going to be like. This was a whole other level. This was, I'm getting, as you call them, chicken skin goosebumps, just stepping into that memory that I don't really have words to describe. This was a richness, a livingness, a level of cleansing and clearing and opening a space that I didn't even know was possible. So as you're talking right now, you know what dots I'm connecting? That I couldn't have set the intention to plan for this, but I am realizing right now, as I am creating a legacy project, a year-long witch mystery school, the most important, biggest, astonishing thing I have ever even contemplated creating. You started by saying, let's have an Oli to clear the space. That inaugural intensive last October did 2 things. It created the space in me to receive the seed from the mother of what she was asking me to do. This is magic prayer. This is, I don't have words for it. But do you, Hildemore? She's laughing. She said, you know, you create the space with Oli. She creates it with her magic distaff. You want to see some space created? She'll help you create space. Look at that big grin on her face. So, what do you say we end with an Oli? Yeah, let's stop talking and just pray. The link to Hana I Ka Pono is right below. All the links to my website, everything you need. So, take that invitation, grab it, and be with us at the time of a lunar eclipse. Yeah, I mean, I think your ancestors are way on top of this. They've got the timing right, the prayer right, the instrument, Kahu Lahela, right. Everything is here. All we have to do is say yes. So let's say yes, closing with prayer. How do your ancestors want you to pray to complete this delicious conversation?
Well, this beautiful Oli is ehomai. Ehomai means grant us, grant us, grant us. And what we're asking for are the hidden messages, the hidden meanings. And I really love this, Oli, because it's a way for us to connect, create that open, that beautiful open channel, connect with our divine goddess, connect with your guides, connect with whoever it is you connect with, and receive, be open to receiving whatever seed they wish to plant with you. And so this is Ehomai. Ehomai ka ike mai luna mai e. O nā mea huna no e o nā mele. Ehomai, 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 ka ike mai luna mai e. O nā mea huna no e au nā mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai, ka ike mai luna mai e. O nā mea huna no e au nā mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai.
And that is a delicious taste of spending time with Kahu Lahela, Janet Connor, and Hilda Moore is insisting that I say Hilda Moore as well. We will see you for the opening night, Tuesday, May 17th, 7 o'clock at night. And if that's inconvenient for you, as it is for our friends in Europe, on Thursday, there is a UK Europe watch party, and Hildemore and Janet and Kahu Lahela will be there. Aloha.
Aloha.